Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Hannah if you don't know me already, and if you clicked on this video, you know what's about to go down. Here are 5 books that I absolutely despise. Before I get started, I just want to say that reading is subjective. There might be some books on this list that you really enjoy that just didn't hit for me, just like there might be some books that I love that you hate. Reading is subjective and that's okay. We're all allowed to have our own reading opinions. I just wanted to say that before I get started with the list. Okay, starting off strong, the first book that I picked that I really didn't enjoy is Our Chemical Hearts. Our Chemical Hearts is a high school romance about 2 characters. Henry is a hopeless romantic who is searching for love, but he's always too scared to chase it. And then Grace is a more mysterious girl who uses a cane and she wears oversized boy clothes. You just don't really know much about her, and they're forced to work on the school paper together. They're forced to spend a few hours together after school every day, and they just start falling for each other. Or actually, let me make a correction. Henry starts falling for Grace, but she does not start falling for him. The reason I didn't like this book was because of the main characters. If I don't like the main characters in a book, then I just can't enjoy the book, and I think that's okay. I didn't like Grace especially. She was leading Henry on way too much, and then when he started to admit his feelings for her, she would pull back and be like, LOL, just kidding, and that really made me upset. I didn't feel like there was any build up as to why Henry started liking Grace, other than he started spending time with her and she was a female in his presence for a few hours every day. There was just so much miscommunication between the characters in that sense, within the writing, the author's writing, how she wrote the story. I didn't enjoy it. This story was giving I can fix her vibes, and that bothered me a lot. I hate when 2 characters in a romance don't have the same mutual feelings for each other. That just makes me so upset, and I didn't enjoy it for that reason. Book number 2, I'm actually a little scared to show you this book. This is a very popular one. Book number 2 is Icebreaker. Look how cute that cover is. Yeah, I thought it was very cute too. The content is not that cute. This is another romance book. You would never guess that this book is just filled with smut scenes based on the cover. I mean, would you guess that all this book talks about is sex? Me either. And I didn't realize that it was a smutty book when I bought it at Barnes & Noble's. If there's a good plot, I can read a book with smut in it, and usually I'll just skip over the scenes, but this book was, you couldn't read the book without reading the smut, because that's all that was really in this book. It's supposed to follow 2 characters in college. Anastasia and Nate, I believe, are their names, and Anastasia is an ice skater, Nate is a hockey player. Because of a college prank that went wrong, they're now forced to share a rink with each other and share practice times, so they have to work together with their coaches to pretty much schedule, hey, it's my time to use the rink, hey, no, it's my time to use the rink. And when I read that that was the plot, I thought that was so fun. I was like, oh, I love sports, I love romance. I was like, what more could I ask for in a story? This book was just literally filled with smut scenes. I think if the author just focused a little bit more on the plot rather than the sexual tension between the characters, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more. I just felt like the plot got super lost in, the sexual tension that they had for each other. I didn't enjoy it that much. Book 3 on this list is Afterlife by Gayle Forman. This was a hard bad read for me because I love Gayle Forman's writing. I love Gayle Forman's writing so much, in fact, that I owe a lot of my reading credit to her. She has a book called Where She Went. That's one of the books that got me into reading in the first place, so I've read almost all of her books. I've enjoyed most of them, if not loved them, so I was so excited when this came out either early this year or last year. I mean, literally, look at the cover. This cover is gorgeous. I don't know what kind of book you would call this. I guess just fiction. It's about our main character, whose name is Amber, and she starts off dead. So she had died 8 years prior or something, and she comes back to life and she has no idea how or why she's been given this second chance. Her family's all freaking out that she's now alive. It's about her trying to readjust to life now that she's alive again. And I did not like this story at all because there was no explanation for anything. Literally nothing. It was just how I explained it. She was dead and then she's back again, and you don't know why. And you never find out why. I hate when a book leaves you with so many loose ends. It literally makes me so upset because I'm just where's the explanation? How did this happen? Why did it happen? Was there a reason? And it gives you nothing. If she would have just explained why and how Amber came back to life, then I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more. It's very short, but there's not much else for me to say about that. Book number 4 on this list is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Please don't hate me for this one. I know a lot of people love Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was my first introduction to her, and I will admit, it is not going good. This is a romance book. It follows our main character, I think her name is Emma, and she marries her high school sweetheart named Jesse. They get married and they're like living life together. They're going on all these adventures. They're very happy. I think she is like a freelance writer and Jesse is a documentary assistant, and he gets the opportunity to go off to some island and film some kind of documentary. So he takes that opportunity. Unfortunately, his plane crashes when he's on his way there and he dies. So it goes through Emma now mourning the love of her life's death and grieving him for years and years and years. A few years later, she's finally able to open her heart again to love, and she meets this guy named Sam who she falls in love with. They end up getting engaged like a while after. And right as they get engaged, she gets a call from someone that says, hey, Jesse never died, like he's alive, haha, he's not dead. And so she's stuck now trying to figure out like, oh my gosh, my husband, the love of my life, was dead, but now he's alive. What happened? And now she's engaged to this other guy and she's like, I love him too. And so it's kind of like a love triangle. I gave this book 1.5 stars on Goodreads. I rated it so lowly only because of Emma's morals. There was a scene in this book that just, it was the nail in the coffin for me. There was a scene where Emma is really having a hard time choosing between the two of them, Jesse and Sam, and in an attempt to solve her feelings for them both, I guess you could say, she ends up sleeping with one of them, and then she realizes after she sleeps with him that she actually doesn't want to end up with him. She wants to go back to the other one. And that made me really uncomfortable because just the way it was written to me, it felt like low-key a cheating trope, because she was literally like, I'm gonna sleep with you, but I'm gonna end up with this guy and I'm gonna love him. And that just didn't sit right with me. I felt like it was like high-key cheating on the one she ends up with and picks, because she literally slept with the other one on purpose, knowing that she was not gonna choose him. That scene alone was enough to make me be like, ew, no. The last book that I have on this list is The Last Sunrise by Anna Todd. You probably know Anna Todd's name because she wrote the After series. Anna Todd has written a lot of books. I've enjoyed some of them and I've not enjoyed some of the other ones. This was one I did not enjoy at all. This story follows our main character named Rye, and she is forced to go on this business trip with her mom to Spain. Rye has like all these medical conditions that she has to see all these doctors for, she has to take medication for, because if she doesn't, like, she could die. So she has this very serious condition. I forget what it is. It might be like a heart condition. She's at this point in her life where she's like, I want to live. Like, I don't want to just be so consumed by doctor visits and being careful with my life that I can't do anything. That was one part of the story that like I can appreciate, was that she was genuinely just like, I want to live my life and I want to do adventures even if there's a risk. She ends up meeting this guy on the beach named Julian, who is like this bad guy and he's grumpy and he doesn't like her, but then he likes spending time with her and whatever. They end up falling in love, and throughout the story you realize that Rye and Julian have connections to each other that they never knew about until it starts being uncovered. The reason I didn't like this story is, again, because of the chemistry. Okay, it went from 0 miles an hour to like 100. It went from them hating each other to them being absolutely in love with each other, and there was no like in between. There was no yearning, there was no romance. It was just like, oh, we hate each other, oh, we're gonna sleep with each other and everything's gonna be great and we're gonna fall in love. And I don't like that. I need there to be like a subtle build up to romance, and This just lacked that. I felt like there were also so many scenes that were so irrelevant to the story. They were just like tossed in there randomly and I was just like, what? But the main thing, like I said, was just the chemistry. I wish that she would have had a lot more yearning and a lot more like explanation as to why Rai started falling in love with Julian, and then likewise why he started falling in love with her, because it literally just went from them hating each other to them being absolutely madly in love for no reason. Again, it's just like, if there's not good chemistry, I'm not gonna enjoy it, and in my opinion this one didn't have good chemistry in it. Okay, so those are 5 books that I've read that I just personally didn't enjoy, and I think that's okay. If you've read any of these and you've really liked them or you've enjoyed them, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong or if any of my takes are incorrect, and I will see you in the next